All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to my apostles and elders, great millstone, who teach very well while not this truth from. And salutation out there to the hopeful lit, who continue to push his word in our truth, faith, and sincerity. And also, Shalom to all the men, women, and children who sincerely believe upon the words of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. And today, man, just basically getting on prophecy, man, because things are continually going on, man. Esau have gradually introduced this new system by the form of technology, cell phones, and iPads, and it actually became a norm. But ultimately, this is a secret way that this devil is going to use to put that tiny little device inside all these people. And one of the people he's going to start with is kids, man. You know, it's a Russian banker. I forgot his name, but he had a quote. He said, you give me control of one generation, I can control the world. And this is a generation of iPad kids. And there's no coincidence that they call this generation Generation A or Generation Alpha. So they think they're going to restart the New World Order with the kids that they're dealing with today, man. And one major things that these devils want to do is help the children. Bill Gates, who is the founder of Synchron, a Neuralink, not Neuralink, but a brain interface company. For lack of better words, he actually on record quote saying he want to help kids. And it's going to come under the banner of protection. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and get this real quick. And we're going to start off with the scriptures. This is the book of Isaiah 21. Let me start at verse 6. It says, For thus hath the Lord, Yahweh Shema said unto me, Go say a watchman, and let him declare what he seeth. And yes, man, we can see things creeping up until they MOTB being made manifest. They already have things set up like Bitcoin, the cryptocurrencies. They have Tap Pay. So all the things that we're seeing upon the planet Earth is really prepared for Revelation 13 and 16. And we already know that their prophecy have to come to pass before the missile seat, But at the same time, we're declaring all the things that we're seeing upon the planet Earth. And we can see that the end is here, is close. Matter of fact, let's get another one to bag it up. This one right here, this is what I really wanted, that Habakkuk 2. This is the book of Habakkuk. This is the book of Habakkuk 2 and verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he say unto me, and what shall I answer when I am reproved? And the Lord answered me and said, Write the vision and make it plain upon tables. Because, until a lot of these people, especially what it seems like, until a lot of these Israelite camps, that the MOTB that's written about in Revelation 13 is talking about a tiny little device that's going inside your hand. But it's not plain until the rest of these people. They still think it's an embargo. They still think it's singing. Not knowing that Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai have already predestinated. Everything is already predestinated. But the Lord have already predestinated the seed to be upon the scene now. Because you have to realize, man, Revelations was written over 2,000 years ago. Close to 2,000 years ago or whatever. Roughly paraphrasing, roughly around that time. But at the same time, it didn't make sense. During the dark ages. It didn't make sense. Even after Fat Boy and Little Boy got dropped off. But it started to make sense, during the 80s, 90s, and especially during the early 2000s when they introduced this whole system. They had the .com boom, the internet boom or whatever. It basically introduced this digital system, man. And ultimately, people can't live without this digital system. That's how a lot of people get their direct deposit. How you communicate with family members, and even how people order food. And, some people, they bedridden, but they can still eat and do things every day through a form of an app. And a lot of people will lean and trust upon these things. And once they take these things away and they bring them back and they say the only way you can have these type of privileges again. We have to put this tiny little device in it. People are going to be willingly doing it. And the reasons why, because the only thing they know is this, man. Niggas never, especially this generation, they never grew up, playing outside and things like that. You barely see kids outside now. But just imagine when they get older, how their kids going to react and their kids after that, It's hard, the system, for lack of better words, in the generation is already set up for people just to be cooped up in the house. And it's already written, not written, but it's already quoted. That guy said that you will, own nothing and be happy. Throw a video game and a VR headset in front of these people's face, they're going to be pleased, man. But again, in order to receive all these dainties of Esau, he's going to put that device inside you, and we making it plain, man. It's plain to see that the RF to the I to the DC chip is talking about what? A tiny little device is going inside people's bodies, man. How plain can it get? Continuing on. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak. And it's speaking loud and clear, man. But you have to have the ears to hear and the eyes to see. IUIC, they might, though. It's either yes or no, man. It ain't no might, man. Because one thing about our prophecy, like it's written about in 1 Peter's first chapter, around 19th verse, we have a more sure word of prophecy, man. They might, no, they will throw a C-hip in there, man, a chip in there, in order to control your incomings and outcomings, But at the same time, it says, and not lie, though it tarry. And look how long the apostles have been talking about this, man. And even us today. Although it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Because soon as that C-hip get upon the scene, man, people are going to be taking it like wild dogs. Just get ready for long lines of people taking that device. Now, real quick, just since I mentioned it, because it is going to be a long lines of people taking that device, I have an article from Fox 4. It says Fort Worth launches first chip spot for quick and easy pet reunions. Now they say, yeah, pets, cats and animals. Do you know that Esau look at you as pets and animals, man? He got papers on you by the way of a social security card and a birth certificate. He could tell that you're pure breed because your daddy name Laquarius and your mama name Daniqua. But at the same time, not just just having fun with this thing, but at the same time, this guy, his heart is deeper than you people know, man. He already have this calculated plan to try to force this tiny little device upon you, and the perfect thing to do is order out chaos. He calls records. He shakes shit up. For the lack of better words, that he come with the solution. And one thing is these children being taken away, man. You think, a nigga on the street corners, a nigga in Alabama. No, man, it's these global elites who's kidnapping these different kids and making these different rings of wickedness. That's another reason why they have to be taken out of power. But ultimately, they're going to say, here's the solution. The solution is we're going to put the device in the kids, and now you can find them. Just like they did the pets. Let's get another one, man. Here's another article from The Guardian. And this article came out 22 years ago. Older than enough brothers and damn near my age, man. It says, would you microchip your child? And it's going to be under the banner of safety, and it's going to show you the devil showing his horns. He's going to act like he's your friend. He's going to act like he's cool with you, but ultimately he have an alternative motive behind it. Let me get some real quick before I read a little bit of this article, because again, they're going to try to push forth fear for you to take this thing, man. It's not going to be a lot of people who's going to take it, they're not going to have no logical way of thinking. They're going to have a thinking of panic, man. Of thinking of rushing in, and also of thinking of haste. I got to get out this bad position. Not knowing that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is controlling all these things. It's the Lord who's going to put this device out here, man. But also it's going to be the Lord who's going to preserve, us from this device. Let's get some. Sirach 14, and I'm going to jump down to verse 7. It says, and if he do it good, he do it unwillingly, and at the last he will declare his wickedness. Yes, because you think he's doing it because he care about the kids. He care about the children out here, not knowing that he's just marking them as cattle, man, as goyim. You know. Let's get another one. Sirach 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like his iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. So when have the white man ever did anything beneficial unto you? You know, you get food stamps, how simple niggas is. He gave me a job, nigga. You supposed to be a king, you know? But at the same time, through the captivity of Babylon, through the beating down of Jake, ultimately our people have forgotten who they are. And they have actually leaned upon their oppressor instead of leaning upon the power that created you, man. And it was the same thing back in Egypt. You know, the Lord did a wonderful miracle, you know, by delivering us from Egypt. You know, and there was some niggas in the middle of the forest saying, yeah, let's go back. It's the same thing now. The Lord did a miracle by waking us up from this dead estate. And this nigga saying, let's go back to being an African American, man. Forget that, you know? So let's go ahead and go back into this article. It says, would you see help your child? You don't supposed to trust that, man. The scriptures say, train, why you won't just follow the scriptures? Why Esau won't just say, train up the child the way that he should go, you know? And he grow, he ain't going to depart from it. He's not going to push forth that because he have an alternative agenda behind it. It says, Winnie Duval's 11-year-old daughter is to be fitted with this tracking device. But will it help keep her safe? Interviews by Sally Welly. It says Daniel Duval, age 11, from Reading, Berkshire, who is being fitted with the first microchip tracking device. I think it is a really good idea. It is better than getting kidnapped. And this in 2002, man. You know, damn near 22, 23 years ago. You know, and it's not like abduction of children just started. No, this something of old, man. You know, and if you worried about like that, then just keep a watch over your child, man. Something as simple as that. Continuing on, but Esau wants you to be in that panic mode so you can make an irrational decision. And women will hop on this. I love my baby. I know my baby at all time, and it's not no coincidence. Even on iPhones, you can share your location. It's going to get to a point where your location is really going to be in you, man. Continuing on. It says, I haven't always been frightened. Fear. Niggas using fear tactics. But in the past couple of weeks, Holly Wells, Jessica Chapman, it has made me a bit nervous. And I think those are kids that was kidnapped back in the day. It says, with this, at least my parents will know exactly where I am. I feel okay about having this implant. A bit nervous. All I know is that they are going to put a local anesthetic in my arm and insert a C-hip. So this child don't even know what's really going on. He don't know that he just participated in Revelation 13 and 16. You know? But we do. Continuing on, man. Most of my friends have said they would have done it. Yeah. And it's that one generation. Like that banker said, give me control over one generation, I can rule the world. It says nobody has said to me that they think it's a bad idea. My little sister Amy, 7, has said she will most possibly have it done. It might help keep children safe. It might. And these are the words and the things in these war, because these really words of war, man. When you look at it spiritually, because Jake love their kids. Jake love to worry about I pray my child, especially the black woman. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, Esau is going to use this to his advantage, man. To try to make you go into his way. And it's pretty much on that. Let me see. Yeah, they're pretty much on that because it's really just talking about different kids and things like that, and children being scared to be abducted and who's doing all these different things. But ultimately, the whole banner is going to be on what? On children being safe. Let's go right here. It says, we are seriously concerned and believe that parents need to think hard before using this invasive procedure to deal with a risk appealing as it is, which is very small. You know, it's not very small because it's going to push forth out radiation, man. You're going to die. Continuing on, while parents' anxieties are understandable, and we know that children are anxious too, a lot of this has to do with constant media coverage. So when they see him come out fully, it's going to be a social media thing. It's going to be a thing that's going to be cool, but the Lord sent out the prophets the comment Revelation 13:16 on these different posts. That's why it's going to get to a point when they're going to have to take us away in order to push forth their evil and wicked device. Continuing on, it is very important to reassure children how very, very rare this kind of event is. Yes, because you know, it's not like it's an everyday thing. It really be with careless parents or things like that. But at the same time, it's just we feel that this procedure would be an extreme response to this anxiety, and it is, man. It is. Esau have common sense. But when you and again, this was 2002, and this is the people have come weaker through age, and that's also dumber too, But at the same time, going back, it is going to be an extreme response into suffering, man. It's going to be a extreme response of what not to do, because at the end of the day, the Lord have created these things from the beginning. Everything was already predestinated from day one. But at the same time, the Lord is going to set these people up to panic here in the last days. This is such thing called panic buying. Now it's going to be a thing called panic chipping, man. That's going to be the new Lord willing. There'll probably be a series, man, panic chipping. Because once the food get taken away, kids start getting taken away, houses start getting taken away, you start getting kicked out of the city, people are going to start panic chipping themselves, man. And they're going to go to what? That chip spot. Even though it says something about the pets, ultimately it's going to be leading to humans. So let's end off right here in the book of Ezekiel 33 and 33. For the camps who don't want to teach this. You got to teach all the truth, man. Yeah, we already know that we're Israelites. We know that America is going to be destroyed. But you have to teach the true correction on Revelations 13 and 16, man. This Ezekiel 33 and verse 33. And when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come, then shall they know a prophet have been among them. And what is this talking about? This talking about that tiny little device that's finna get ready to get pushed forth throughout the whole planet Earth. So yeah, Akim, I pray this video was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakodash. I want to give that honors to my apostle, elders with Mulestone, and Shalom.